Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. 5 Dudes with Views is back. And we're talking about our favorite sports movies of all time. Here's our theme song. Hit it!
5 Dudes with Views. 5 Dudes with Views. 5 Dudes with Views. 5 Dudes with Views. Yeah!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the 5 Dudes of Views podcast. We just got back from the gym and we're all jacked up because we're going to talk about sports movies.
Yeah.
Like sports.
Sports! Yeah! Sports.
I just slapped you all in the butt.
Good job.
Sports movies are definitely a Americana sort of a genre of films. Sports movies have won awards. They're very sentimental to people. You probably ask people what their favorite movies are. A lot of them are probably sports movies. Sports movies are, they cross the board. All the different sports have movies. I think they're all pretty well represented in cinema. Maybe not cornhole yet, but I'm sure it's coming. So as far as sports movies, what do you guys look for, or do you guys not go to certain sports movies because you don't care about the sport, or what's going on with you guys?
No, I watch sports movies even if I hate the sport. And I'm not going to give away my picks yet, but that comes up when we start picking our picks, I'll mention that. But I don't think that just because I don't like the sport necessarily in real life doesn't mean I can't enjoy the movie about that sport.
I specifically look for sports that I don't like and then watch those movies.
Oh, very nice.
On purpose.
Now, I will say that there are some movies that I looked up that are considered sports movies that I don't really consider. Maybe they have one aspect of sports, but it's not dominant in the movie, so I don't really consider that a sports movie.
I agree. Me too.
Would you guys consider Deliverance a sports movie?
No.
If your
Not at all.
sport is incest.
Okay.
What about
Okay. No, it's
Spice
not.
World?
I guess
Was
it's not.
Spice World because it has sporty spice in it?
Oh, you know what? That's a technicality, but yes, possibly.
think you're reaching
did
on that
anybody
one.
play sports growing up? Did anybody? I feel like if you played sports, you probably have a fondness for sports movies. Did anybody play sports?
I played basketball, baseball, and football growing up in school. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
baseball and soccer.
yeah.
Yeah, I played a little bit of everything: baseball, basketball,
Yeah, basketball.
soccer.
I watched the Olympics too a lot. Like I remember the 84 Olympics and the 88 Olympics, watching the summer ones.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and kick this sports off. Sports extravaganza of the movies. My number 5 is a movie that I think a few of us here on the podcast is their favorite movie of all time. We kind of discussed a little bit earlier. It's Slapshot.
Yeah, good
Yep.
movie.
Yeah.
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman and a whole cast of people who we don't really know, but probably
Hanson
the
brothers.
standout of the movie is these 3 guys called the Hanson brothers.
Yep.
They were so good, I think they basically put them in the sequel with Stephen Baldwin. I think that was a direct-to-video sequel Slapshot too. Anyway, I love this movie. I remember when I first saw it, which is probably when in my teenage years. And I'm not a huge hockey fan, but like I appreciate hockey.
too.
I've seen it live, and it's very fast and
It
very
is.
fun.
Very fun.
Man, it's such a fun time, and Newman's great. Newman's just
He is.
he's a great actor. He showed, and I wish he would do more comedies. Like he's really funny in comedy. So
Yeah.
Yeah, can he still do comedies?
not anymore. He sells dressing.
Oh man.
He
Tyler
sells
Perry.
popcorn. But yeah, man, it's a fun movie. I just think it's and it's definitely like a 70s feel of a movie. It's definitely dated a little bit, but I love it. When it's on TV, I usually sit down and watch it. I think it's great.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Yep.
And I don't like hockey. I'm not a fan of hockey, but I do like that movie. So that's an example of a movie where it's about a sport I don't particularly care for, but I still like the movie.
You still appreciate the movie.
Yeah. Yep.
I went to my first hockey game with Ted actually, and it's not a sport that I had watched before, but I'll tell you what, man, live sport was so much fun.
Yeah.
We had a blast, right? They went to overtime, and then they had a shootout, and
Yep.
I feel like after that, I started watching Kings games, like Kings finals.
You couldn't have gone to a better first game. That was, amazing.
It was
and,
awesome.
Yeah. It's the fastest
I-
game, like, without having to use a machine.
Right.
You know,
right.
riding on a
Right.
machine or something like that. So it's a fast game.
I would definitely recommend wearing a jacket if anyone hasn't been and wants to go. Like, it gets a little cold, honestly.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, plus it's one of the only sports you can beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
True.
Look forward
Which
to
is
it.
Yeah,
what's
is
so
that-
great about this movie. There's a lot of great scenes where they just decide just to throw the hell down. All right, well, Brad, number 5.
What's better than a sports movie? A Kurt Russell sports movie.
Whoa.
Miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2004
Nice.
Good one.
Miracle. It's a true story of Herb Brooks, the player turned coach who led the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team to victory over the seemingly invincible Soviet squad. So this is obviously the famous Miracle on Ice hockey game. I don't know if you guys remember that Olympic team.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody seen this movie?
You know what? I feel bad. I
No.
haven't seen it.
I've
Yeah, me
only
too,
seen it
I feel
once, but
bad.
I've seen it.
I hear it's great.
If you haven't seen it, at least just YouTube the Herb Brooks "You Were Born for This" speech, the Kurt Russell speech. It's awesome.
This is,
Nice.
I think Miracle's
It's like
one
a
of those movies. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it's like a 3-minute speech, but it's a pretty powerful, cool scene. Him walking into the locker room and talking to the players.
Yeah. I was going to say, I feel like Miracle's one of those movies that's, and I really like movies like this where they're based on a real event that you don't really know much about. And after you
Right.
see the movie, it makes you want to go and read up on what it, like, the actual events that inspired the movie.
You know what's funny is like this is a back-to-back hockey movie.
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
yeah. Yep.
You know, props to hockey. Big ups to hockey, y'all.
What's another
Yeah.
hockey movie?
So you haven't seen this movie, Ted?
There's a few, man.
I
Who's
can think of a
next on
few.
the hockey
I don't
guy?
want to name
No,
it because they might
really
be one of
should
our
have seen
picks,
it.
but I can think of a few more.
Ted, you haven't seen Miracle?
No.
So hold on, nobody's seen this but me.
No, I saw it. I said I've seen it
Oh,
once.
Brett saw it.
Or Brett said, yeah. I mean, if you're
I like it. I don't like hockey,
Yeah.
but this movie is a good movie. You don't have to be a hockey
Yeah.
fan to like Miracle.
no, it's like a feel-good story.
Yeah, and it's got drama. Like there's drama, like
When it was
Right.
Kurt
there's some
Russell.
like
I mean, come on.
yeah.
Kurt Russell had done a bunch of movies up until this 2004 movie had come out, and
You're
I think
right.
his son
He kind of
is-
like was in a lull.
Yeah, and I think that his son was a hockey player in Canada, so it kind of
Oh,
like gave him interest to do the movie too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
you're right.
the only
Though.
sports movie he
hadn't
did
been
was
in a lot
that
of
Everybody's All-American movie.
Well, I know he was. Is that the baseball thing?
No, he was like a football movie.
Oh, have you seen the baseball documentary when he was younger? Like he almost went pro.
Oh, no,
Well, his
That's
dad.
a really.
His dad.
Have you
was
seen
in
that,
baseball.
Brett?
What's that?
Have you seen that, Brett?
Yeah, I finally did watch it, like a couple of years ago. I
It's
think.
really good.
Yeah, but his dad was in baseball, like so he kind of had it in his
Yes.
blood.
Maybe if he
Yeah,
would have
what's it
played
called?
baseball, he would have got a Goldie glove.
Oh shit!
Oh.
It's called The Battered Bastards of Baseball.
Yeah.
That was the name of my high school band. Anyway,
Awesome.
Ted, number 5.
Speaking of hockey, my number 5 is Mighty Ducks.
There you go.
Wow, holy crap.
Oh, nice. Do
I'm
it.
gonna have I keep thinking about this list, and like, there's probably a bunch of like great sports movies that I haven't seen, and I tried to like get on board and watch a lot of them this week, and I failed miserably. But so I just went with like my heart and what I thought, I like, and that I've
Thanks for
seen,
doing your
so-
research.
Yeah, so there you go. So Stephen Herrick directed it. Wonderful cast of characters on this one. Emilio Estevez. Just a great movie. Flying V Formation. You guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And they made like how many sequels? Like 2, 3?
3, I think 3.
3.
Yep,
Yeah.
3. This one
D2.
came out in 1992. That's right around when I moved to LA. So it was pretty cool. I was kind of discovering, hockey at the time, through friends and just a great movie. Do you guys remember this one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this
Great,
movie
yeah,
was
of
kind of weird because it cross promoted with the Anaheim
Anaheim
Ducks
Ducks,
weren't even
yeah.
around yet, so
Yeah.
kind of like hyped up that team that wasn't even around yet until the following year. Like,
Wasn't
so-
it like did they pre-announce that this team was coming, or it was?
Yeah, they had already announced them,
Uh-huh.
and then the movie came out, and then like 6 months later, I think that the team debuted in the 93-94 season, I think. But yeah, it was like the logo for the movie is
Yeah.
like the logo that the Ducks used on
Exactly.
the actual
I remember that.
team at the time. Like
Yeah.
That's
it's like
pretty cool
Donald
logo.
Duck's mask, basically, like hockey mask.
I feel like this
No.
was also like Disney's, kind of picture, or like at the time when they were trying to do more like live action stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was that and like
like a
Homeward Bound.
resurgence. Like
Yeah.
they had done a lot before, but
Yeah,
this is
for
kind of like
sure.
a good era for them,
Mhm.
for sure. Walt Disney Pictures.
Yeah, this is one of those like fun like kids movies that
Yeah.
all probably all kids of all ages, adults too, obviously would have seen and like enjoyed. It was a fun movie.
Mhm.
It kind of reminded me of like just a colorful cast of characters like Bad News Bears, but with
Yeah.
hockey.
It totally was. It
Yeah.
was like a '90s version of Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
But like you said,
I mean, they're doing a Mighty Ducks television series, and he's I think he's going to be in it, or
Really?
he's like
Oh.
going to be like mentioned in it. Yeah,
It's cool. That's cool.
Emilio Estevez is coming back. for
Yeah.
it? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't even
Wow.
know about that.
That's
'Cause
pretty cool.
I think he's like directing or producing.
It makes
bunch of
sense
stuff
because he's
right
like
now.
director now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Maybe for what's that for? Disney Plus or?
I'm not sure. It just says filming.
You know what's sad? One
Okay.
of the kids from the original Mighty Ducks, he's like been busted a couple
Yeah.
times for
Oh,
drugs. Have you
yeah.
seen it? You know
Saw
the one I'm
that.
talking about?
Jeez,
He's
dude.
all like methed out,
Yeah.
like skin
Yeah.
and bones and all. It's sad.
He was like the bigger, heavyset kid. the funny
yeah,
one.
he's
yeah.
just like
I can't remember his name. His name escapes me.
yeah.
Me too. Me too.
This is like a nice stretch for Emilio Estevez. In '90, he did a Young Guns 2, Men at Work, Free Jack, Mighty Ducks, Loaded
Free Jack.
Weapon 1, Another Stakeout, and Judgment Night.
Wow.
Nice.
What a
Nice-
great
nice
string of movies
stretch.
right there.
That's a cool run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great run.
Cool
Solid.
runnings. What? Cool runnings.
Another
Sports
sports
movie.
We're talking about Mighty Ducks, yo. Yeah, nice. Brett, number 5.
All right, my number 5 pick, right around the same time, just before or just after, I think, released by 20th Century Fox, April 9th, 1993. It's The Sandlot.
Oh, yeah.
Good movie.
Very nice.
This movie, this is on
Not a
IMDb
hockey
synopsis.
movie.
What's that?
Nope.
Not a hockey movie.
Not a hockey movie. In the summer of '62, a new kid in town is taken under the wing of young baseball prodigy and his rowdy team, resulting in many adventures. The movie's just a real fun movie. It's kind of like Mighty Ducks. It's a bunch of kids. They're about 10, 11, 12, right before they become teenagers, and it takes place back in the '60s. But it's just really fun, coming of age, watching the kids. It reminds you of childhood. I was a teenager when this came out, but it took me back to being a kid and just being
Yeah.
on the playground. And, like the kids, the main character is kind of like, not geeky, but he's awkward, doesn't know how to play baseball, so they're kind of laughing at making fun of him. And then the kid that's really good kind of takes him under his wing and like kind of shows him the ropes. And then he never is a good player, but he at least learns how to like throw the ball kind of. And there's a lot of fun moments, like Dennis Leary plays his dad, and he wants to learn to throw the ball because he's got to impress his friends. So like Dennis Leary takes him out in the backyard and he throws the ball and it hits him in the face and gives him a black eye. It's just like the kid can't win at all. But it's a cool story because then at the end, like it's one of those movies where at the end they kind of follow up like what happened to all these kids, and the main kid's a broadcaster for the Giants, and the one kid that was really good is on the Dodgers. It's a fun
Spoiler
movie if you're a
alert.
baseball fan, and a lot of sweet moments in it. So
What year was that movie?
93,
93.
April 93. It also has the famous catchphrase. People wear it on T-shirts now. The famous line from the kid that played Ham Porter: "You're killing me, Smalls."
Yeah.
Like he says it
Yeah.
multiple times in the movie. But that's like a great line.
It is.
And then James Earl Jones is great in it. He plays the guy that owns the dog, which they're afraid to.
What's the dog's name? Damn it.
Well, they call it the Beast.
Yeah.
Its actual name is Hercules, I think, but they call it the Beast, and they're all scared as shit of it.
Yeah, the whole
they're
movie.
afraid the ball lands in the yard. They don't know
don't
what
wanna
to
go
do.
get it.
And
I
then they end
remember
up the dog ends up becoming like a gentle giant, and they use it as their
Yeah.
mascot. So
It's a big,
You're killing me, Smalls.
cute diet.
That's it?
yeah.
Cute dog.
They just had like a reunion on TV. It's
really?
such a sentimental movie that like a lot of people are like still remember it and love it. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna
It
lie.
had a huge
I
cult
actually,
following after
Okay.
it came out in the theater. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I actually just saw that movie within the last 5 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And like I feel like some movies are like kind of would be more appreciated at that point in your life, but this really I felt was timeless.
You
Like
could
it was
still
it was a good
enjoy it.
movie. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, and it made $33.8 million at the box office, which would be the equivalent of $77 million. So it wasn't considered a huge box office hit, but like I said, it got more popular when it came out on home video and on TV. Like now it's considered a cult classic. But
I think they released it like last year. They re-released it in movie theater. Certain.
I think you're right.
okay.
They did
I can't
for
remember
the
what
for the 25th anniversary. It was like
that's
2
what
years
it was.
ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what it was.
Yep.
Nice.
I was bummed I didn't go see it. I should have went.
And Karen Allen plays the mom. By the way, I forgot to mention the
Nice.
other actors in it.
The kid that's in it, the redheaded kid, he's also in that movie, The Big Green, which I never saw.
That's right. Yeah.
And also, real quick, the narrator, the movie, which is basically the main character, Scotty Smalls, as an adult narrating it. That's actually the director and writer of the movie doing the voiceover
Wow.
as the narrator.
Did they make like a weird, like, direct-to-video sequel?
They made 2 sequels, and the third,
Whoa.
the second sequel, the third one, it's like Luke Perry, and he gets hit in the head and like goes back in time to like the 70s.
What?
It's weird, like
Whoa.
yeah, it's like it's not it's not like even the same type of movie as the original.
Sounds amazing.
It's like a sci-fi type of weird like
Whoa, yeah.
Nice.
like fantasy movie. Because yeah, he gets hit. I think he gets hit in the head or something, and then he somehow transports back in time. Like it's weird. I don't know.
weird.
The sequels weren't very good.
Yeah, no, Sandlot's classic, man. I mean, I feel like everybody who's seen that movie walks away from it going like, "Oh, that's a great movie."
Totally.
Yeah, it's fun.
Either
It's
that or
simple, fun,
yuck.
and sweet.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice to have sweet movies.
Sweet.
Speaking of sweet, George, number 5.
Number 5 for me was released December 10th, 2010, and it is The Fighter, starring Mark
That's a good
Wahlberg
one.
and Christian Bale. It's about a boxer named Mickey Ward and his rise through the ranks of professional boxing. It's an awesome movie. If you guys are into boxing like I am, and
Hey, was The Fighter the one with the two with like the funny sisters?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
so good. Was that Melissa?
Melissa Leo.
She's
Oh, yeah,
excellent in
Melissa
that
Leo, wasn't
movie.
it?
Yeah, she won an award, and so did Bale, who did another like lost a lot of weight
Transformation.
performance. You know.
Yeah,
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 was David
they
O.
showed
Russell
away
directed
this
it,
movie,
right?
For sure. Yeah.
that's a David O. Russell movie, right?
that's what I just
Yeah.
said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
David S. Russell.
Because wasn't
Ooh.
Christian Bale's character like, was he on like meth or something, or what? What was he like? He was a drug addict or something.
Yeah, he was the half brother of Mickey Ward. He was on crack cocaine.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a
gotcha.
couple
Yeah.
scenes in the movie where it's like
so he started
related
out
to
as
that.
his trainer, and
Yeah.
then down the line, Mickey Ward finally was like, "All right, dude, I'm gonna have to cut ties with you." And unfortunately, because of that, he rose to the top. Like he got
Yeah.
an actual trainer.
That's a great movie.
He had 3 great fights with Arturo Gatti. You got to watch those fights. If you love boxing or somewhat a fan of boxing, watch those 3 fights. You will forever it'll be in your top 5 favorite fights of all time.
Like Miracle, like I was saying, like movies that make you want to read up on the real events. When I saw this
Right.
movie in the theater, immediately I went on YouTube to look up the fights, the
Oh
real
my God,
fights.
dude. Yeah,
that was
huge into
exactly what I
boxing
did.
around that time, and I remember watching all 3, and it was just ridiculous, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost like all 3 fights were connected. Like after the first fight, I think Gotti won the first one. Mickey Ward went on to win the second one, and then I think Gotti won the third one, which was a rubber match.
Uh-huh.
But all 3 fights, it looked like they left off on the 12th round, they picked it right back up.
Yeah.
So it looked like 3 fights were like back to back.
I think
It's crazy.
you saw the fights before the movie came out, though, right?
Correct. Yeah.
I didn't know what happened, so I think that added to the movie because I didn't know what the outcome was. So like that probably made the movie even more like tense for me because
Yeah.
I didn't know what happened in real life in those fights. Like I
Right.
didn't know like who won or
It's
who
amazing.
lost.
It's I think if I'm not mistaken, in Sports Illustrated, that those 3 fights were in like the top. I want to say in the top 20 or top 15.
Like biggest sports moments of all time. Yeah. Yeah.
At
It's a sad
what
movie
point-
too.
At
like-
what point in the Marky Mark Wahlberg muscle frame was this? Because at what point did he get jacked? Was that for that Pain and Gain movie?
Yeah, exactly.
This was
So
a little
this was
a couple
after
years
Pain
before.
and Gain?
No,
I think
before.
this was before. He wasn't as big on this one because Mickey Ward was a smaller guy. I think he was like he was like a lightweight. I think
Yeah.
he was a lightweight. So yeah, he slimmed down a lot for this one.
Dude, if they ever do a Punch Out movie, it's got to be Marky Mark.
Little
Yeah.
Mac.
I feel bad calling him Marky Mark. I hope he doesn't listen to this podcast.
I know he's
Yeah.
like, fuck.
He's gonna beat your ass.
does.
It's Mark Wahlberg.
Fuck those guys. I'm going to Arkansas now. That's not how he speaks. Who speaks like that?
No one.
I don't know.
Doesn't he have like a Boston?
He's
accent?
from Boston. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got the Boston
go get the
accent.
car. We're going to Arkansas.
He's gonna
to
beat
kick
your
some
ass.
As soon as I wash my car, I'm gonna come to the house.
I'm Teddy Kennedy.
Sandberg does a great impersonation of
Mark
Mark
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg.
yeah, he
You gotta-
does, dude.
Yeah, go on YouTube.
Yeah,
watch
and
those.
Wahlberg showed up on SNL to
Yeah.
that was a funny little sketch.
It was, yeah.
He goes, yeah, go say hi to your mother for me.
And
That's great.
this movie got
Was that
Christian
Ben
Bale
Affleck?
got
I thought
nominated
that
for like
was
a lot
Ben
of
Affleck.
awards for this movie.
Yeah,
right?
supporting character.
I wonder if Ben Affleck's sports movie is going to make it to the podcast. We'll
Ooh.
see.
Oh,
Suspenseful.
So, yep, that's my number 5.
Nice. My number 4 is a movie it's an all-time classic. It probably should be higher. It's a really good film. Great acting across the board. It's Hoosiers.
Oh.
I mean, man,
Gilbert Godfrey.
yeah, that's right. He got nominated for an Oscar, best supporting.
That was the
janitor.
second Oscar.
I mean, man, going back and watching this movie, it just affirmed everything about Gene Hackman. The guy is he's an amazing actor. It's so sad that he stopped doing movies. I guess he's retired, living in New Mexico now, but he's great in it. Not a lot of other people to mention except for Dennis Hopper. He's great in it. I think Dennis Hopper basically shot Blue Velvet and like got on a plane and shot this movie 2 weeks later, going from like the extreme to like another extreme. It's just a great Americana slice of life, like basketball movie, and it's so good, man. I mean, it makes you just want to get up in your seat and cheer, and that's what a sports movie should be.
Totally.
A movie that gets you out of your seat, and you get so wrapped up in it, it's like it's really happening. So
Feel good.
Yeah.
Makes you feel
feel
You
good, baby.
Walk out, pumping your fist, excited.
Yep, Hoosiers, baby.
That's
it's a great film. You guys seen Hoosiers?
Daddy, Hoosiers. The score, by the way, to this movie, I think it was Jerry Goldsmith, but I can't remember who exactly. I think it's Jerry
Ooh.
Goldsmith. I love the music in this movie, though. The score.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got a good soundtrack score.
Yeah.
Hoosiers!
Well, damn, I built this movie up pretty high for low. No one to talk about. Oh well, everybody else has probably seen it anyway. All right, Brad, number 4.
So Billy's is upbeat, and mine, it makes you, yours, Billy, makes you want to leave the theater pumping your fist. Mine wants you to grab a Kleenex. It's $1 Million Baby.
Oh,
Piggybacking.
man.
Okay.
Love that
Piggy-
movie, dude.
Piggybacking George on the boxing
Oh,
film.
great movie, dude.
Clint Eastwood directed it. Hilary Swank is the female boxer, and his boxing assistant coach is Morgan Freeman. So it follows Hilary
Great
Swank,
cast,
Maggie
dude.
Fitzgerald. She's an underdog amateur boxer. She's trying to get an old crotchety
Clint Eastwood.
man played by Clint Eastwood to help her achieve her dream of becoming a boxer. At first, he doesn't want to. He eventually sees her, strength and not giving up. And actually, I don't know how to. I don't want to give anything away if people haven't seen
it's
this.
so
I haven't
good
seen
Spoiler
it.
alert!
I haven't
It's
seen it.
20 years old.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
It came out
because-
in 04, but spoiler alert.
It's so good because you see the progression of her getting better and better, and Morgan
Yes.
Freeman chiming in like, "Hey, he's up on her a
like
little bit."
it has such feel good
Oh.
moments, and then like when something happens that
Oh,
it's terrible.
Yeah.
Like I knew nothing about this. I saw it by myself in a theater. When she gets hit in a certain way, I mean, dude, my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe the turn that this movie took.
and what's funny, Brad, is Lucia Riker, who's her opponent in the movie, is an actual
Yeah.
like boxer / kickboxer, and I was a kind of a fan of hers until I saw this movie, and I
Then
was
you
fuck
hated
her. I hated her, dude.
Yeah, that
What
character
did
is
you
an
do?
asshole in the movie.
But it's a movie.
Yeah.
but it
It's a
catches you,
movie,
right?
yeah.
Oh,
So this won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, and Best Supporting Actor. For when
Morgan
did this
Freeman.
come out? 2004.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just so sad. Like when Hilary Swank's in the hospital and like she's
Oh.
waiting for her family to come, and like they went to like Disneyland and like Universal Studios. Like
Yeah, like they don't
really
even
care to
give a
see
shit.
her.
She was just like
Yeah,
an
she-
afterthought.
Like they were just using her because they were thinking she was going to make them a bunch of money.
They
basically.
wanted money. They
Yeah.
wanted money.
It's
So,
all about money. Sad.
yeah, I mean, I guess a good sports film can be incredibly sad, but also you can have some that are uplifting. But man, this
Yeah.
one was a
Oh,
freaking tearjerker.
it was,
Mm.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they did such a good job of like setting up her backstory where you felt so sorry for her, but she was such a warrior, and she was
Right.
gonna
Quit attitude.
do what she
German.
had to do, and like you couldn't help but root for her. Morgan Freeman is so good in this movie.
Yeah,
too.
he is.
Yeah,
He's so good.
absolutely.
He plays like the
yeah, man. It's a great flick. It was one of my honorable mentions. It was hard not to put it on the list because
man.
it definitely hit all the boxes.
It does,
Right.
dude.
Mm.
You see the Rockies and all those movies, but it was kind of cool to see Hilary Swank as a boxer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Clint Eastwood's got that crotchety old man down.
Oh, dude, absolutely. He's
Yeah,
a pro.
He's nailed
Big
it.
time.
Gran Torino.
Exactly.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, this was like his. This was like his training for Gran Torino. Like,
Yeah.
in terms of being a grumpy old man, like.
Right.
Well,
Good
speaking
one,
of
dude.
grumpy old man,
Oh shit.
Ted, number 4.
So I chose some left of center picks for this podcast. So my number 4 is Dogtown and Z Boys,
Oh wow.
the documentary.
Skateboard.
Yeah, it's a skateboarding documentary. Have you
I've
guys ever
still
seen
not
it?
seen that.
Yep. 2001.
Wow.
It talks about the Z Boys from, I think that's Venice, which
Yep.
stands for Zephyr Boys, and they kind of brought a completely different style to competitive skateboarding. The couple people you might know is Tony Alva,
Yep.
that kind of revolutionized and helped like progress, skateboarding as a brand, and Stacy Peralta, who directed the documentary. So it's really cool. Like, I highly recommend this documentary. So the style at the time in competitive skateboarding was more of like an athletic, like guys were doing like handstands on skateboards, and people judging those kind of like acrobatic skills. And the Zephyr Boys were kind of like almost a surfing style.
Yeah. Because they would
Yeah.
practice in swimming pools.
Yeah, they get really
Empty swimming
low,
pools.
and they kind of like would be the guys like going into people's yards like when they're not home.
Yep.
Like total renegade style, and skateboarding in like empty pools and stuff like that, and they kind of developed that whole California style. It's really cool documentary. I highly recommend that for sure. Anybody seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
Totally.
it.
When
It's
it
been
came
a while
out, or
since
when
I've
it was
seen
new.
it. Who narrated that? Is it Sean Penn or?
Yeah, it's Sean Penn. Yep.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I mean it was a good flick.
Yes.
I mean, I'm from a part of town in Arkansas that's called Dogtown, but it's because people like drove across the tracks and let their dogs off because they knew, like, they could just roam
Drop the
around.
dogs off.
It's such a poor area, so
They drop them off there.
yeah.
Yeah.
They'd release them out into the wild? Is that what you're saying? Billy?
Well, yeah. Basically, my town was the wild. Yes. Anyway, well,
flick, good
all
flick.
right.
Yeah, sounds good.
On that note, Brett, number 4.
All right, my number 4 pick, released by Warner Brothers on April 12th, 2013. It's 42.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
This
Never
movie,
seen
I
that.
feel like
Yeah, I've
I
never
feel like
seen
this
it.
movie's really underrated. A lot of people didn't see it, and that's a shame because it's actually really, really good. Starring Chadwick Boseman, Harrison Ford, Christopher Maloney,
got a
Andre
great
Holland,
cast.
John C. McGinley,
Damn.
Lucas
cast.
Black, and Alan Tudyk. It's anyone doesn't know what it's about. It's
I
based
wish
on
it
the
had a
life
better
of Jackie
cast.
Robinson and how he broke the color barrier and
Never heard of him.
was the first athlete in pretty much any sport, not just baseball, but all sports in America that broke the color barrier. And it's more about him struggling with like how to deal with like it's a double-edged sword because he wants to play baseball for like he made it to the big leagues. It should be the happiest moment of his life, but because of that and because of like the whole it's in the late 40s, there's still a shitload of racism. So it just his whole life kind of like all this pressure and all this stress all of a sudden comes down on him because everyone hates him at the same it's like he's loved and hated at the same time. So it's really it's a good movie to watch if you don't know the whole story about the Dodgers and Jackie Robinson and how that all came to be. But it's another movie I think that it's based on a true story, so it's a good way of introducing you to like who this person was, and then if you like the movie, maybe you'll go out and read more about what he went through. Because I mean, he went through a lot of shit. Like when he went to Cincinnati, they had snipers on the roof of the stadium in Cincinnati because there were death threats saying they were going to shoot him on the field like during the game. So the FBI actually hired
crazy.
snipers on the
Jesus.
stadium rooftop during the game looking for someone to shoot if they came on the field. It's just insane stuff. And that first season he played, like some teams like they didn't want to play against them, and they like scream, they shouted every single like slur you can think of from the dugout. So it's a crazy story, but the movie's really, really done well. I'm a huge baseball fan, so I might be a little biased, but I think this movie's actually really done well. And I feel like it didn't get nominated for anything. I think that was like a slight. Like it should have. It didn't get recognized for I don't know why. I don't know.
I'll have to check this out.
Yeah,
Me too.
It has. It's a really good, well done movie. So
Yeah, I'm
that's my
so
number
glad
4.
that our country overcome racism after this. It's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's funny? We got the screener for this movie years ago, and I never watched it. I'll have to check it out.
I feel like a lot of people didn't watch. I don't. It was like if you didn't like baseball, no one watched it. That's what I feel like. If only baseball fans watched, and I don't know why that is, because Jackie Robinson to me should be more than just baseball, because that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's a huge jump.
yeah,
for
it
that time,
happened to
man.
be about baseball. That's the sport he played, but it's more than that. Like, it could be anything. Like, it means a lot more than just baseball. It was originally being developed in the late 90s to coincide with the 50th anniversary of Jackie Robinson's debut. I guess apparently Spike Lee was developing it. He would have written and directed it, and they were trying to get Denzel Washington to play Jackie Robinson, and then it fell through. It didn't happen until years later when they made 42.
You know what else almost had Denzel Washington in it?
What?
George?
7.
Oh.
That would have been
That's
interesting.
true.
No, that's true.
Wait, he was gonna play Morgan Freeman?
He turned it down, and Brad Pitt got it.
Oh, he
Oh, he would have played the Brad Pitt role?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
he
raised
so it would have
Brad
been
Pitt
Morgan
role.
Freeman and Denzel
Oh,
Washington?
man.
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
shit, that
Interesting.
changes everything, huh?
Because they asked him, like, you know, and a lot of actors never want to admit it. They said, "What role did you turn down?" Or like a role that you said, "Oh, I should have done that." He said 7.
Wow.
I should have taken that role.
Wow,
Was Morgan Freeman already cast and he turned it down? Or?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
Anyway.
I mean, I love Brad Pitt in that movie so much,
Me
but
too.
I would have. Yeah, it would have been interesting to see.
I feel like
Denzel.
it would have changed the character, because I think Denzel Washington's like, or at least he seems like he's older than Brad Pitt. Maybe he's not, but I feel like he's more.
Yeah, at the time,
back then, though.
I don't know at the time, like, what movie he would have been in that would have kind of been the same time frame. But yeah, I mean, it would have been,
Philadelphia?
I think it would have been
That would've
probably
been
even
right after
better. I don't know.
Philadelphia.
John Doe's got the upper hand.
It's hard to reimagine that movie. Anyway, that's not the topic of this podcast.
No, it's
That's a
not.
separate
Not at
topic.
All right, George, number 4.
Number 4. It's already been mentioned by Brad, and it's $1 Million Baby.
all.
I love this movie, man.
Me too, man.
Again, it's in my criteria for my sports movies. I did the top 5 movies in my head sports movies that I would rewatch like without a problem, and this to me is one of the movies that I would rewatch anytime. It's on TV. I'd watch it.
We should have a depressing movie pod.
Yeah.
That
Oh my
makes-
God.
Hey,
this
I'm
is
game for that.
guarantee this would be number 1 for me.
Yeah, like what
Actually,
movies
that's a
make
good
you
idea for a
cry
podcast.
and are depressing?
I know, it's such a roller coaster of emotions. You're like so high for the first half hour, 45 minutes, and then you
Dude,
drop.
I'm telling you, like it was such a underdog story. I was
Yeah.
like, man, she is like, she's training, she's like moving up in the ranks. Like how awesome! Like I did not see any of that
and
coming.
then you get hit in the feet. You're like, what the
Hmm.
fuck?
yeah,
Just
stupid
grab
school.
like Brad was saying, dude. Grab a box of Kleenex when if you get a chance to watch. Just make sure you have a box of Kleenex next to
Okay.
you.
I got
Yeah.
lucky. That movie, I didn't see it in the
I'm
theater,
gonna
but I
sit
saw
down
it
to
probably
watch
like
it.
a year after it
You
came
know
out.
what would be nice?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
You haven't.
so-
Wait,
Oh,
what?
really?
Hold
Yeah,
on, wait,
but I think
what?
I heard the ending already. So
Ted,
It's
see
okay.
it?
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Ted, you haven't
Yeah.
seen it?
No.
Oh no, so
No,
we ruined it.
we didn't. No, we didn't say.
I've
anything.
actually heard the
I
ending.
kind of like danced around it.
So did I.
Okay.
So did I. But it doesn't. Trust me. Me and Brad did not.
Yeah,
well,
it's
do-
the journey.
it's a
The
great
irony.
film.
Journey.
The
did not-
irony of Ted
Yeah,
saying
we
that
didn't
just
ruin
now?
anything, and we didn't just trust me on this one. It's so good, dude.
You said box of Kleenex. That means it's a sad ending.
The irony
You
of
ruined
Ted.
No,
it.
it's a happy ending.
The
You're gonna
irony
be
of
so
Ted
happy that
saying
you're
this
gonna
right
cry.
now.
Yeah. Hey,
Depressing movies could be fun. Do you
Yeah.
think we could cry during it? Maybe have a good little man cry?
Bring
Yeah.
our bring
Yeah.
our tissues.
Actually, kinda like that
tissues
idea.
for our issues. Speaking of great movies that you could rewatch over and over again, my number 3 is a really hilarious, funny movie. I love it. I'll watch it today if I can watch it. Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, what can you not say about this movie? It's hilarious. It's got great cameos. It's Sandler when he was funny. And man, I could watch it tomorrow, and I think it's great. Ben Stiller's great in it. Christopher McDonald, he's Shooter McGavin.
Yep.
The
Dude,
crazy
Bob
guy
Barker.
from all the crazy guy who played Jaws from the 007 movies.
I'll
He's
see
great.
you
Yeah.
in the parking lot.
And Julie Bowen. It's got Carl Weathers. I mean, it's great.
It's
I
got
mean,
Apollo, bro.
It's
Come
got
on.
Bob
Yeah.
Barker.
Yes,
Bob
Bob
Barker.
Barker. Yeah. And Joe
That's
Flaherty as the crazy. Hey, you want to go to Chili's, Shooter?
It's great.
or is it Chili's, or we want to go to Outback or something? I forget what it is.
Applebee's.
So good. Classic movie.
Mm-hmm. Adam Sandler at his finest.
Ted, have you
And
seen this one?
it's got his grandma in a
Yep,
Gene
great
Simmons
movie.
mask.
Love it.
It's, what?
Making sure.
You remember? He's like, I go to my grandma's house and she cheers me up wearing a Gene Simmons mask.
That was funny. Yep.
Has anybody
great
ever
cast.
like tried to hit a golf ball like Happy Gilmore? Has anybody tried that?
No.
No.
It's hard.
I can't say I have, but I don't
But I
play
want
golf
to.
really either.
Yeah.
It's hard
I've
to hit a
always wanted
golf
to go
ball, number one, but
It is, yeah.
no, I think this. You think this movie probably got more people invested in golf than there was at the time?
Probably.
Either that or eating at Subway.
Yes, yes. Dude, if they gave out a Subway for life card, would you be a happy person?
Yeah, I'd take it.
Yeah, I'd take it too. Hell yeah.
This is what our podcast has come to.
Yeah, cold cut combo, baby.
Oh my god.
Yeah, cold cut combo is the worst goddamn sandwich at Subway. I
it
would
tastes
not
like
get a cold cut
plastic,
combo.
dude.
Wait,
When's the
what
last
is it
time you had a
called?
meatball?
They have like
Oh.
$2 sliders now or something like that.
Oh, really?
Dude, you got to get the spicy Italian. You got to
Yeah,
get
the
that.
that's pretty
BMT.
good. Add jalapenos and
It's
yellow
all about
peppers.
the veggie
Spicy
delight.
Italian.
Yeah, yellow peppers.
Yep.
I'm a
Yeah,
big
I
fan
got-
of their.
Fuck, I don't think I've gone to Subway in like.
I like their cookies.
five
Yeah,
I
because
haven't
it's
gone in a
their
long time.
fucking yoga, matte bread.
Yeah.
Oh, they fixed it, Ted. They fixed it.
Yeah, yeah. Supposedly they fixed the recipe for the bread.
I stand
Just don't
corrected.
get the lettuce. Don't get the lettuce.
And the meat
ever.
too. Didn't they?
No, go
it's like
spinach.
the meat's better now or something like that.
They have Jared actually pound the meat.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh God.
Jeez.
God, what kind of podcast?
Wait,
Look,
what happened here,
Subway
We hit like a right turn somewhere.
sucks.
Have you ever seen like so?
Subway will not
I
sponsor
saw
us
Happy
now.
Gilmore came on TV, and there was like a scene from the theatrical release that wasn't in there, and it was like Ben Stiller. I think it was like Ben
Really?
Stiller when he was an aide. He was. There's so many weird scenes that didn't make the theatrical cut that
Eh.
they showed on TV.
I'm
Well,
good.
they usually do it, yeah, when they have to do it for time for them because they did that with Billy Madison. Remember, there's a kickball scene with the
Yes.
with the help or what's her name?
She's the maid.
Yeah, the
I forget her
maid.
name.
They're like, she's like doing a whole. She's like, you want some juice, Billy? Yeah, there's a whole kickball scene with her. I was like, what is this? This isn't in the movie.
I love it when he's the aide and the lady's like, my fingers hurt. And he's like, oh, your fingers hurt? Well, that's too bad because you just pulled landscaping duty.
Your back, yeah, he's like, your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled landscaping. and then remember she's on the phone with Billy and he's like looks over and he does his thumb
Yeah.
across his neck like he's gonna kill her. He says anything.
He has such a great mustache in that movie.
So good.
Yes. yeah.
Chubbs Peterson. Chubbs Peterson's a great character.
Chubbies.
Does anyone know?
Just-
remember what was
just-
the name of the alligator that took his?
Did he name the
I don't know.
I
alligator?
thought it has
Yeah.
a name, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember
I
though.
feel like it has a name, but I don't remember now.
Me too.
Just a little tappy. Tap, tap,
Al?
and
Tap tap.
What is it?
taparoo.
Al.
Is it Al for alligator?
I'm just guessing.
Alligator.
No, that's
Allie.
pretty good. I love Shooter McGavin. I mean,
Yeah.
that guy says that people come up to him in the airport and say, Shooter!
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
"Exactly."
It's legacy.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Shooter McGavin.
All-time classic. All right, Brad, what you got for number 3?
Number 3 is a 1996 American sports comedy directed by Peter and Bobby Farrelly. It is Kingpin.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, oh.
It is a bowling film. There's not many bowling movies. Alcoholic ex-professional bowler Woody Harrelson becomes the manager for a promising Amish talent of Randy Quaid. Bill Murray plays Ernie McCracken, which is so good in this movie. Has anybody seen this? Seen
Yes.
Kingpin?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that
Great
movie. Dude.
I've always heard rumors that Woody Harrelson didn't like this film, which I don't know why, but maybe it grew on him. But man,
It
I
did.
love Kingpin.
Me too.
It did. And
Yeah.
I read an interview with him, and he said like he finally figured out why people like it.
What's
But
that?
it didn't seem like he was that keen on it. No, you're right.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think like
great
it
in
came out. Let's see, it was released July 26, 96. The budget was 25, and it made 32.2. So it actually didn't do that well.
No, it
No,
bombed,
after-
I think.
After Dumb and Dumber, it was kind of a flop for them because that was like their follow up to
I
that.
saw it on video and I wish I had seen it in the theater.
Yeah, I wish
Yeah.
I'd seen it in the theater. I didn't.
I saw. Billy, did we see this together?
I'm not sure, but I know we saw it because I was disappointed at the receipts. I was like, "Well, this movie's really funny. Why is no
Yeah.
one seeing it?"
Right. Yeah, I think like that and Lebowski. I saw in the theater. I was like, why are these movies not doing better than?
Yeah.
You know? It's a great
Again,
movie.
yeah, a movie that did not do well in the theater at all.
Yeah.
I
They
think.
kind of. I feel like they both kind of have cult status, maybe. But
Yeah.
I think Kingpin
yeah.
maybe just got released. They shouldn't have released it in summer. Maybe maybe it should have been
right.
Yeah.
like fall, like October when there's less big blockbusters out. But
Yeah.
or maybe like
Um,
February. I don't know.
I mean, besides Ed Wood, this is my favorite Bill Murray performance.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
Really?
It's pretty great. It's
He's
pretty
such
great.
a stinky great character in this movie.
Dude, and that
Ernie
hair, like
McCracken.
his hair flips up and down, and
But better than
Remember that-
Stripes or Ghostbusters?
No,
Or
I love it
Groundhog
better.
Day?
I think it's better.
I can
Wow.
kind of see that.
Or
It's-
Lost in
it's
Translation?
It's a pretty great performance. Do you remember the scene when he's doing that video and he's like, "Hut, hut," and he's trying to get the football?
longer.
That girl, that kid's mom. Oh man, yeah, he's really good in this movie.
Munson, you just Munsoned it up there.
Yep.
Roy.
Yep.
And it's funny also because think of how batshit crazy Randy Quaid is now.
Yes, and he's the most sane person in that movie.
Is he still on the run?
He's so sweet and innocent. He's a little Amish guy.
Yeah.
Is he still a fugitive?
Yeah, he's a fugitive from the law.
Like he's on the run now.
Shit.
Doesn't he owe
One
like
of
a
the fu-
shitload of taxes? Is that why? Or
I think
I
so.
can't remember. Yeah.
Oh, a
Whoa.
shitload.
I'm gonna,
speaking of shitload,
someone else is gonna make a run.
Speaking of
Dude,
yeah,
one of the
speaking of the
one of
runs,
the funniest things about this movie is something that they never even show. They just have in the background, and that's the Jeffersons on ice.
Dude, that
was great.
He goes, "Come here, Wheezy. Come here, Wheezy." Oh,
I
Sell
love
that
it,
for $1.
man.
yeah. No, Kingpin's classic. I mean,
It is.
I feel like it's on TV a lot, but
It is.
I mean, I'll always
Is
sit
it?
down and watch. I love it when they're in that diner and he's talking to Woody Harrelson about what they're going to be doing. He's like, "Why don't you eat this outside?" And he goes outside to eat. And he looks over that table and he's like, "Hi." And the lady looks at him and goes like, "No, not you,
Yeah.
you." So great, so great.
it doesn't make sense because this movie came out after Dumb and Dumber and before There's Something About Mary, both which made giant amounts of money. So it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense why this one didn't.
I
Like,
agree.
It is kind of puzzling. Like,
I'm sure it cleaned up on video.
yeah,
I think that's kind of where it like caught an audience.
Definitely.
And
it's got more
one of
like
my
a
other
cult
favorite
classic status.
one of my other
now.
favorite characters is Lin Shaye, who plays his landlord.
Yep.
Oh
Oh
god.
my god,
Yeah.
he's short on the rent.
Yeah. Oh, you're short again, Munson.
Yeah, Chris Elliott plays the guy who like tries to indecent proposal them, and it's
Yes.
that weird,
Yeah.
that weird moment.
Chris Elliott is good
Remember,
in
remember
everything.
he has the suitcase of money. He's like, ha 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 ha. He's
Yeah.
laughing.
Randy Quaid's got ice on his ass.
Please see Kingpin if you haven't seen Kingpin.
Please.
It's so good,
please.
man.
And that chick who's in that girl who was like in that, and then she was in Weird Science when it was on TV.
Oh, yeah,
like
that's
she was
right.
smoking hot.
Oh,
Vanessa
that's
Angel.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
Where'd
yeah.
she like she disappeared though? Like she never really. never got
somebody
big.
took her under and said, "Dude, you're not going to be in anything else besides my house."
Yep.
Yeah, that's a classic movie.
Kingpin. Bowling.
Kingpin. Speaking of Kingpins, Ted, number 3.
My number 3 is probably going to be controversial to some of you. It is another documentary by Seth Gordon that came out in 2007. It's King of Kong: Fistful of Quarters.
What? That's not a sports
Boo.
movie.
Yeah, it's competitive.
It's not sports.
Competitive.
Ah!
It's competition. Video game competition.
Boo.
It's a great documentary, though.
Yeah. I probably had seen it 10 times when it came out in 2007. I loved the shit out of this
Whoa,
documentary.
10 times.
Yeah. Have you guys seen this
Yeah.
documentary?
Yeah,
It's great.
I
You showed
brought
it-
it 10
you brought it to
times.
work one time. Remember?
Steve Wiebe. So Steve
how I saw
Wiebe
it.
is trying to break Billy Mitchell's Donkey Kong record. There's a whole bunch of
He
controversy.
cheated then, didn't he?
Yeah, you find out that he cheated,
Yeah.
and
How do you cheat on Donkey Kong?
and then so this guy's trying to break the
think he-
supposed Donkey Kong record, which was
Mhm.
like insane score, and like you have to do it in a public setting and it has to be sanctioned by this like bullshit.
The
like,
machine has to be like
regulation.
approved by.
Yeah,
certain-
exactly. And they send all like Billy Mitchell sends like these goons to like distract him and stuff like that. It's a great documentary. Very good sports movie.
It is a very good documentary.
Yeah. Love it.
Not a sports
What
movie,
year-
though.
It's not a sports
movie.
What year did that come out again?
Mullet.
I feel like it's been a long. Is it 07?
2007. Yep.
07.
Yeah.
Wow. Man,
Yeah,
time
yeah.
flies.
Controversial. Is it a sports movie or not?
No.
no.
Audience, what do you think?
It's a competitive sport. Video gaming. I would
Documentary.
consider it.
Not.
I'd say that's
I
more of
would
a sport
consider
than this
it.
movie.
That was controversial.
God, help us.
No, that guy has a great mullet. Whoever that guy is.
Billy
which one ever he
Mitchell.
is.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like Satan
Straight
a
out of
little
the
bit.
80s.
He looks like Peter
Totally.
Dinklage.
When's the last time anybody played Donkey Kong?
Jesus.
It's been a while.
I don't remember.
I think it was
Kong's
at
dong.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh,
Chuck E.
rest in
Cheese.
peace. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Chuck E. Cheese.
Donkey Kong. I love the music from Donkey Kong. It's good.
I love the sound effects,
Love
dude.
it.
Brett said he likes the soundtrack.
Yeah. Watch out for the bat.
don't think that was Donkey
Ted
Kong.
loves King of Kong. I watch King of Dong.
King Kong's Dong.
Oh.
What about Brett, number 3?
All right, my number 3. Unlike Ted, this is a sports movie.
What the fuck?
Uh, Shit. Sorry, I couldn't resist that. Released by TriStar on May 11th, 1984. Directed by Barry Levinson. It's The Natural. Starring Robert
one.
Redford,
Oh, good movie, dude.
Robert Duvall, Glenn Close, Wilford Brimley, Kim Basinger, Robert Prosky, Richard Farnsworth, Darren McGavin, and Michael Madsen. This is a good movie. I feel like this is one of those movies where I don't think you actually have to like the sport to appreciate it. Because it's just a feel-good movie where it's about a guy that kind of comes from nothing. He grows up on a farm, loses his dad at a young age, and then kind of he has this great talent to play baseball, and then it's taken away from him. I won't spoil the movie, even though it's old. I won't give it away. And then he ends up rising back like 10 years later when he's like basically a washed, should be a has-been, and that's basically what the movie's about, is him just overcoming the odds. It's just a really good movie. Very simple. Takes place like in I want to say it's the early mid-40s probably. Right after, during World War II maybe, that time. Maybe just before World War II, so like late 30s. And just it's got a great score by Randy Newman. All the actors in it were well cast. You know, Wilford Brimley is the old crotchety manager, is really good.
Yep.
Robert Redford, this was actually his first movie in 3 years. He hadn't acted in a while. I'm not sure what got him to take the role, but this was also TriStar's first produced movie.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
their
I didn't know
debut
that.
for producing a movie.
I watched this about 3 months ago. It's great.
Yeah, I usually watch this movie about once a year, whether it's on TV or if I throw on my Blu-ray.
Didn't he name the bat or something?
Yeah, it gets the bat gets. He makes it when he's a boy. It gets a bolt of lightning hits a tree on his farm when he's a kid, and he basically carves the bat out of the tree. So, and then I don't want to spoil the movie, but later on there's like a moment where something happens to that bat.
It's a 40-year spoiler alert.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil the movie. I know it is old, but
It's exciting.
the movie was nominated for 4 Oscars: Best Supporting Actress, Best Cinematography, Best Set Direction, and Best Original Score. It was also nominated for a Golden Globe, and actually Randy Newman won the Grammy for Best Score for this movie as well.
That dude isn't he
Good stuff.
nominated like every year for an
Yes.
Oscar?
Well, dude, it's weird because Randy Newman's mostly known for writing songs and singing, but The Natural was only, I think, his second score that he ever did. But he was actually really good at composing, like non-singing songs, like score music. You know, the score in this movie is actually really well done.
Did you ever see the deleted scene? I think they have it on YouTube where Wilford Brimley sits Robert Redford down and talks to him about diabetes.
And
He's all,
oatmeal.
Don't get the
It's
beatus.
the tastiest thing to do, or it's the right thing to do. Tasty way to do it.
Jesus, you remember that?
Oh Lord. Yeah, I think I've seen the movie, but I know that we read the book like in English class, like in 11th grade, I think.
Yeah. Yep. And the book's from like the 50s. Like the movie came out like 30 years after the book had been written.
Wow.
Good
That's a
movie.
long time to
Yeah.
write a script.
Solid
Yeah.
movie, bro.
Natural, of course. It's a classic because we're talking about the classics here and sports. George, what's number 3?
Number 3 for me stars Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, Madonna, Rosie O'Donnell, Forrest Gump, A League of Their Own.
Yay!
Now that's a sports movie.
It's a great sports movie.
I love this movie, man.
Mm-hmm.
I do too.
It's what is it? Tom Hanks's, to me, one of his best roles, I think. I would say top 3 of all time for me.
There's no crying in baseball. That's it.
That's it.
And
It's a great
What's that
movie.
from?
it
Yeah.
spurred the Madonna song was a big hit from the movie.
Yeah, this used to be my playground.
It's a
Yep.
great scene.
It's
a wartime movie. Yeah, there's some like wartime stuff. Like I think.
Don't forget about John Lovitz. He
Yep,
was in it.
He's great.
Yeah,
He's
he's
hilarious in this one, dude.
And Lori Petty, Tank Girl.
Great.
Yep.
Lori Petty's great.
I love the end of this movie.
Rosie
when
O'Donnell.
When Lori Petty and Tom Hanks get in a DeLorean and they fly back to the future.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
So
You
good.
remember that? That was awesome.
Is that a deleted scene?
That's the real ending.
Yeah, well, Wilford Brimley comes in at the end and talks to the team about
Talking about
diabetes.
diabetes.
Yeah.
He's telling Tom Hanks not to drink anymore because you get the beat.
He goes, "Well, we're out of time."
No, this movie was. I mean, it's a fun movie to watch, but it gets you in the heartstrings, you know. And that's what a good sports movie should do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Like $1 Million Baby.
I feel
Hey-o.
like a good sports movie does one of two things. We already talked about this. It either tugs at your heartstrings or it really gets you
Pumped up and excited.
feel good. Yeah, you want to root for the character, and it's like a feel good ending,
Or it's a documentary about an arcade game.
which isn't even a sport. Yeah, you're right.
Shut up.
Well, speaking of cool things, number 2 for me is a movie that probably could have been my number 1, but I don't know. My number 1 is kind of hard not to be number 1. It's a boxing movie, and it's Raging Bull.
Great movie.
Nice.
Dude.
I mean,
Oh.
one of the best movies of all time.
Seriously.
One of the greatest performances of all time about Rocky Marciano. It's got Pesci, De Niro,
Bobby D.
Kathy Moriarty.
She's great.
When she
Martin
was still
Scorsese.
smoking.
I mean, it's a great flick, man. Anytime it's on TV, I'll sit down and watch it. And if you want to be an actor, this is a movie you watch. I mean, this got such great performances in it. I love that it's black and white. It's just so kind of sad to see this guy's downfall. Like the last of the movie where De Niro had to gain all that weight, and you just see this guy's what a sap he ended up being, what a life he threw away, and it's a great movie, man.
Yep.
And it's for sports movies. It's got all the right elements.
Yep. I feel like this is one of those. This is probably the movie that's regarded as being the biggest. What do you call it? Slight. When it didn't win the Oscar.
Yeah, true.
Like
Oh,
Robert
right.
De Niro
It was-
won the Best Actor, but
like
it did not win.
everyone thought for sure it would win Best Picture, and it didn't
Yeah.
get it.
I remember
What
in
won that year?
I think
That was 80.
Not Chariots of Fire. I think it was.
We talked about this before.
Wait, was it Gandhi or Chariots of Fire?
Something
or Ordinary
lame.
People?
No,
One
I
of
think
the.
it might have been
Ishtar.
Gandhi.
Was it Gandhi?
Ishtar.
Ishtar.
I think it was Gandhi.
Or Chariots of Fire? I can't remember.
Well, maybe our listeners will tell us who won.
Damn liberals.
Jeez.
Oh shit.
I remember in college I had to watch this in like a film theory class, and it's master class, man. Look at the actors, look at the director.
Yeah.
It transcends like your typical sports movie.
Yeah.
One of my favorite directors of all time, Martin
Yep.
Scorsese.
Yep. Well,
And that was
Stop.
like Joe Pesci's like breakout role, right? He pretty much wasn't really in much before that.
Just kind of put him on the map.
I think it was his breakout role.
have you seen Gone Fishing?
Oh, is that his
It's
breakout role?
called
I have
Fishing.
with Danny Glover, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great. I forgot about the one. That's his breakout role. You're right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Jeez,
Yeah,
let's go.
I don't know. I don't know what movie he was in before this. I wasn't born then. I don't know.
Ted.
Yeah.
Do you know, Ted?
No.
Ted's like, what?
It's like, where are we?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Raging Bull, great movie. I know. I left everybody speechless.
Yeah.
Brad,
good.
number 2.
Let's see if you can guess this. I'll give you a few quotes. Mister, you're gonna die, clown. 1996, Happy Gilmore. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good one, dude.
I'm not a huge golf fan, but
You don't have to be.
Yeah, you don't have to be. What
No,
a
not
fun
at
take
all.
it is on that sport. It has to be the second, most people's second favorite. How many golf movies are there? I don't know.
Oh, dude, there's
There's
a
like
bunch.
4 or
Tin
5.
Cup? Tin
Yep,
Cup? I
yep.
don't know.
Tin Cup.
Tin Cup. There's that Legend of Bagger Vance.
Bagger Vance.
Yeah, and then there's the
Oh,
greatest
yeah.
game ever or
Ugh.
something.
They all
Well, let's
suck.
just
Bill Paxton.
pretend those weren't made.
I still
Yeah.
watch Happy
There's
Gilmore anytime.
Caddyshack
over those movies,
2.
to be honest with you.
So yeah, number
Every
2,
decade.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah,
Jesus,
great flick.
dude.
Ted 2.
My number 2 came out in the fall of 1993, directed by David Anspaugh. It's Rudy.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sports movie.
There you go. There's your Ben
This is
Affleck.
a sports movie.
Yeah. College ball, feel good movie,
Mhm.
great cast. Sean Astin and Ned Beatty is in it. Yeah, Jason Miller. Jason Miller's in it.
Mm-hmm.
He's great. as the coach. So
And this is based on a true story.
yeah,
It is.
Yep.
Rudiger is the name.
That was his real name.
Yep.
And there's a lot of young actors in this movie. Matt
Yeah.
Damon, Ben Affleck, John
I don't know
Favreau.
about that.
Mm-hmm. What?
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, there's your Ben
Yeah.
Affleck sighting.
Yep. Lily Taylor is in it.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Can I admit something?
You
Yeah.
haven't seen this?
I've never seen it.
Oh, okay. It is a good movie, though. I actually agree
Yeah,
with Ted
I
on this
know.
one.
I should have seen it. Like this and Miracle. I'm at 42. I'm gonna add to my list, but I just, man, I never got a chance to see it.
I mean, it's kind of formulaic, but knowing
Yeah.
that it's
I
like
feel
a
any of these
true
movies that are
story,
based on true events or
yeah, it's
worth
true
watching.
event, so it's really good.
Also, we should do a podcast called Classics We've Never Seen.
yeah,
Oh, that'd be a
Sure.
good one.
Oh, I have at least 30.
I've got a decent
Oh,
amount.
me
me
too.
too, dude.
for sure.
We should do like a rule that like they have to be at least like maybe 10 years old to be on the list.
Oh, okay.
Like-
yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Like if it's under 10 years old, it can't be on the list or something.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
But basically, it's about the heart and spirit of this, young football player he's
Small,
definitely
right?
a small guy,
Weighing over
but
his head.
he basically gets on prep team for Notre Dame, like this prestigious school in his town that he has brothers are like down on him all the time. His dad is like basically crushing his dreams with
Like a total asshole.
yeah, total asshole. It's like
Typical dad.
yeah, he like basically branches out and does his own thing, and he gets on that prep team, and it's really good. I recommend it. I'd say see it when you can.
Definitely a
agree.
feel-good movie.
Yeah,
Probably
for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
Sean
also, like
Astin's
Notre
best
Dame has had
acting
such
role,
a
right?
wide fan base. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like they reach all corners of the map.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of pretty cool, Brett, number 2.
All right, my number 2. God, could have been number 1 very easily. My number 1 and 2 like could have flip flopped,
Neck and neck.
Neck to neck.
and
Interchangeable.
I'm
Photo
sure my
finish.
number 2 is going to be probably on other people's lists. It's going to come up. Released by United Artists, December 3rd, 1976. It's Rocky. Ding ding ding
Oh,
ding.
yeah. Yeah.
I really was close to picking this as my number 1 because I love Rocky. Hey, Adrian! Dying, hey, yo, Rock! Talia Shire, Beyond Brothers, and Burgess Meredith. Directed by John G. Avildsen. This
Sylvester.
movie is just the typical. I mean, you just mentioned Rudy. It's basically the same type of story.
Yep.
Guy
Underdog.
down on his luck, total loser.
No
has-
business being in the ring.
Yeah, has
with
no kind of
Apollo
future
Creed.
for him, it seems like, and then gets thrust into the spotlight, and it's just like your true underdog.
By the end of the
story.
movie, you have full respect.
Yeah, and
Like this guy has no business being in the ring
No
with a
business at all.
world-class fighter like Apollo Creed.
yeah, way in over his head. And this
Yeah.
is one of those movies, and you know what? Movie is almost 50 years old. The ending isn't. It's not what you would call a Hollywood ending. Like
No way, he doesn't win.
He
Oh.
doesn't win. But it's
Spoiler.
all about the respect that he gains and all about the effort that
Struggle.
he put into
Yeah.
it and the heart. It's all. This movie's all
Definitely.
about heart.
Yep,
Like,
he went the distance with the champ, and
Yep.
that was more than winning the
and
fight.
he gave him a good fight.
Yeah.
Like,
And
he-
he's such a lovable character.
yeah, he's a big
Brett,
lug.
have you seen the Creed films?
Yeah.
Oh man, I haven't.
No, I haven't seen those. I need to.
They're
Brett?
great.
They're
They're
good,
great, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
such a great way for them to extend that
That
family
franchise.
of films
That's what
in
I've
the
heard.
Rocky movie.
I've
Yeah.
definitely heard
It's
that.
awesome. And dude, I'm not going to spoil anything, but they bring certain characters from the Rocky films back to the Creed films, and it's such a crowd pleaser. If you're a
Nice.
fan of those films, it's
Adrian-
so
Yeah.
Adrian
I-
puts on the boxing
I need to watch
gloves.
them. I'm
Adrian.
shocked that I haven't watched them yet. But yeah,
If
I need
if
to.
you love the Rocky movies, which I know you do,
I love
you
all
should
the
see
Rockies.
you should see the 2 Creed films. They're great. Michael B. Jordan is awesome.
He's great.
I
Yeah.
wanna see
It's
him.
I gotta see that second one.
It's good, man. Like I said, there's certain characters that they bring back that I won't spoil, but yeah, I mean Stallone, like I think he was nominated for an Oscar for Creed.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, he was,
I think
yeah.
he was.
You have
For,
any
like,
favorite?
supporting
You have any
actor.
favorite scenes from Rocky?
I mean, God, there's a few. I want to say my favorite. It's too easy to say the iconic scene where he goes out running
Yeah.
and gonna fly now plays, so I won't say that one. I think my favorite scene is right after he gets picked to fight, and the newscaster, they go to the meat locker, and he's being interviewed on the news, and Apollo Creed's manager's watching it, and Apollo Creed's like, he's blowing him out. He's like, this guy's a fucking loser. I'm going to, like,
Walk right
I'm not
through
even
him.
going to think about this fight. And then, like, the guy's watching the news, Apollo Creed's manager, and he's like, or trainer, and he sees him, and then Rocky's like, I'm going to show you my routine. And he, like, turns around, and then the news crew, like, the camera pans over, and he starts, like, just, like, kind of a couple of hits into the meat, nothing big, and then he just starts, like, poof, poof,
Pounding.
poof, poof. And then all of a sudden, the trainer's like, oh, fuck, like, this guy knows, like,
We gotta
this
work.
guy knows how to fight, like, this ain't going to be, like,
He's
a
no
pushover.
slouch, yeah.
This ain't going to be a cakewalk. And, like, Apollo Creed at that point still, like, blowing off the trainers. Like, what are you talking about? Like, fuck this Rocky guy. Like,
Yeah.
but I think that's probably my favorite scene, because that's the scene where you see the other side kind of be like, oh, shit, like, maybe we should take this serious, you know? Like,
Yeah.
So
I think my favorite scene is when Stallone's character, Rocky character and Burgess Meredith at the end, they walk and they get in a DeLorean and they fly back to the future.
Yeah.
Wait a
It's
minute.
Good.
Wait a
I
minute.
think I've
cried.
seen this before.
Is that? I think you're getting that mixed up with part. That's 3. That's in 3.
Oh, you're right. You're
That's
right.
the end
you're
of
right.
3.
Yeah, it's true. But
I
Nick-
mean, I've seen all the Rocky movies. My favorite one still to this day is number 4.
Okay.
really?
You know what?
Is that Mr. T?
Personal favorite.
no, that's Dolph.
No, that's
Lundgren.
Dolph
That's
Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren.
Personal favorite.
Okay, dude.
Is,
Man, I really don't want to spoil anything, but watch Creed 2.
Oh,
personal
I gotta watch that
favorite-
movie.
I think, is 4, but overall, as a movie from a filmmaking standpoint, 1 is the best one. Like, just as a quality
It's great.
movie.
Yeah.
But 4, I
Dude,
think,
Rocky
is my personal
Balboa.
favorite.
Rocky Balboa was great.
Yeah, I
Oh
like
yeah,
that one,
the
too.
6th one.
That one was good.
But Rocky,
I
Rocky,
loved it.
like made the formula for that type of like
Yeah.
Underdog.
just underdog movie.
Yep.
It's like the
Yeah.
characters are so amazing. in it, too.
What I think is so cool is like not only is the movie an underdog, Stallone was dead broke. He
Yeah,
couldn't get
totally.
any acting work, and he was an underdog. Like he didn't want to sell that script unless he got the part.
Did he
Yeah.
like sell his dog or something just to
He
make
did
some
at
money?
a 7-Eleven. Like he sold his
Jesus,
dog
sad.
because he needed money.
That's
Shit.
Like, he's
that's
still-
crazy, dude.
Script.
He showed his dog in the Italian Stallion.
Oh my god.
No, it wasn't his dog. That was his hog.
Oh!
Mamma mia.
Hey,
Yeah,
yo!
definitely cutting that out.
Adrian.
Pew.
gotta-
And
That's in this
I'm gonna say this right now. That's still, to me, that's Sylvester Stallone's best role. Like,
Rocky.
just
Oh, yeah.
from a pure acting standpoint. I mean, that's
I love. Dude,
That
I
is
love
A-game.
Copland.
what's that?
Copland.
Oh, Copland is good.
That's so underrated, dude.
I do like
I love
Copland
that
a
movie
lot,
too.
but
Yep.
Rocky, I guess maybe because Rocky came out before that. I feel like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I mean,
Sylvester
I
Stallone's-
agree. I think Rocky, it's his performance.
Copland was,
Such a
didn't he
good-
put on a shitload of weight for that movie too?
Oh, did-
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
bigger, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he after that movie, he sat down with Wilford Brimley, who told him to lose some weight because of
I
the
get-
diabetes.
Because of the diabetes.
Diabetes.
Oh shit.
All right.
By the way, speaking of
speaking
diabetes, I love all the remixes on YouTube of that.
I haven't seen.
Oh, the
have
Wilford
to
Brimley.
check it out,
I haven't
man.
seen those.
Oatmeal too.
That's fucked up.
What's that?
I thought didn't he sell Quaker oatmeal?
Yeah,
too?
it's
He
the right
did,
thing
yeah.
to do, and the tasty way to do it, yo.
Yo,
But oatmeal don't taste good unless you put a bunch of sugar in it. So.
Yeah.
story.
That's why I get
Yeah,
the apple and cinnamon
Sugar.
sugar one.
All right, George. What you got number 2, my man?
Number 2 for me, I'm going to steer off the boxing movies here a little bit
Okay.
and go over to the baseball movies. Released April 7th, 1989, starring Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger. It is Major League.
Oh,
Good one.
I love this movie, man. It's so awesome. It's one of those movies where I don't know, you think it's going one way, but it goes completely different way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like these guys are
like
a
the Karate-
ragtag.
It's got great characters.
Yeah, it's like a ragtag team of players. They're put together to basically tank the team
Mm-hmm.
so that the owner, who's like an ex-stripper or something like that, the daughter
Yeah.
of the owner, can take him to Miami.
Yep.
So, but because they find this out, they're like, fuck this, we're going to win.
Yeah, they're like, fuck it.
They bond
we're-
together, even though
we're
some of them
ruining
hate
this
each
plan.
other.
Ragtag.
Yeah, they're like, screw this, we're winning this, man. And yeah, dude, it still holds up. It's still funny.
Where did you
Mhm.
watch it on?
I think it was on TNT.
Television.
Nice. Yeah. Television.
Old like it. I saw it on my tube TV.
you got Charlie Sheen. Wesley Snipes was in this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dennis
Tom
Haysbert.
Berenger.
It's a pretty
Good.
good
Tom
time.
Berenger.
Yeah, there you go. There's a name you don't hear anymore.
Corbin Burnson.
Thank God.
Christopher Lloyd, isn't it? No.
And the guy from the Allstate commercials.
Dennis Haysbert.
There you go. He's
Yeah.
got like a great voice.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's like the voodoo guy. Like,
Yeah. Fuck you, Jobu.
and then who's the manager? I forget his name. He has like real graspy voice.
Yeah,
I forget
what-
that guy's name.
He kind of
Yeah,
reminds
that
me of
guy.
Wilford Brimley too.
Yeah, he's good in it too. I can't remember that guy's name.
And Charlie Sheen's haircut, the wild
Oh
thing.
yeah, he's got the mohawk mullet.
Hmm.
And,
Can't pitch without his
Major League
glasses
2,
on.
they just kind of switched out Omar Epps instead of Wesley Snipes.
Yeah,
Exactly. What is it? Willie Mays Hayes.
Willie Mays Hayes.
Willie Mays Hayes, yeah.
That was like
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes, kind of like. I'll say that's his breakout role.
Yeah, they kind of put him
probably.
on the map. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. That's for certain.
He hadn't done a whole lot before that.
Was this post New Jack City or pre New Jack City?
By like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I think like
New
2 or
Jack
3
City.
years at least.
All right.
I love this
New
movie.
Jack City's like
did this
91.
movie give birth to that Necessary Roughness movie?
Probably.
Yeah, I think that was a
I think
rip-off
so.
of this.
Yeah, they just
Only
put a bunch of
football.
people in a movie and they're like, "Hey, it's an all-star cast."
Yeah, let's get Scott back.
Sinbad.
Let's get Quantum Leap, dude, and make him a QB.
Scott Bakula.
Yeah, Scott Bakula.
What a
Whoa.
name, dude. Oof. Oof.
I think Robert Loggia was in that too, right? He was like the owner.
Oh yeah! Oh my
the
god.
corrupt
Yeah.
owner.
Yeah, Major League's a fun movie, man.
It's still good. It's still. I think it
I
still
like
holds
it.
up, man. It's
Yeah,
pretty
I've seen it in the
hilarious.
last few years. I like it still.
Yeah.
Is Bob Euchre the guy who does the play-by-play?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right, dude.
Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside. Strike one.
That was like the
strike
famous-
43.
Great, Bob Euchre.
Dude, Bob
Wow.
Euchre's a character in
Didn't
real
He
life.
is totally.
You know what I used to love Bob Euchre on was that This
Just-
Week in Baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that show?
Twib. Yeah, I used to
Oh
watch
my
it all the time.
God.
That and those Miller Lite commercials.
Yeah, I think Brad sent
Is he still
us
around?
a YouTube link one time. It was like they're talking. Artie Lang's talking about
Oh,
Bob Euchre on the Howard
yeah.
Stern show, and he's telling him like in between like
filthy.
calls during the games, he'd like tell him about like I
Oh,
don't know, you, like,
shit.
check out the Titson
He-
Road too, like down
Yeah,
there.
he-
And then,
yeah,
like,
he
he'd,
would
like,
hit, he would hit the cough button so it would mute his audio and be like, check out the yeah.
yeah,
Oh, it's
during like a
hilarious.
Brewers game,
Yeah.
like live game.
That's right. Artie Lang was saying like he's like super foul mouth. Like
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
other word
foul
out of
mouth.
his
Still
mouth was
broadcasting,
like
too.
fuck and shit.
Yeah,
Oh my
That's
god,
hilarious.
That's funny.
Well, here we go. Number one. I hope you guys are ready.
Nitty-gritty.
Here we
Here
go.
we
This is the all-time classic. It's Caddyshack.
yes,
Nice.
I'm all right.
Got an
Watch this
all-star
last night.
cast, man. You got Bill Murray, Chevy Chase, Dangerfield, Ted Knight, Brian Dole Murray.
Oh yeah,
Everybody else, it's a great film, man. I mean, probably
Yep.
one of the most quoted movies of all time.
Oh, for sure.
It's a classic. You can't deny it, and I win. I'm sorry, I win.
I've
What's
never
your
seen
favorite
this
scene
movie.
from that movie?
I've never seen
and
it.
Any scene with Dangerfield.
My favorite scene is when Rodney Dangerfield is on the green with the other young caddies, and he's got that bag or whatever, that like special souped up
Oh,
bag
yeah.
that he has, and he's like, "Oh, I used to walk to school and blah blah blah." He's like, "Who cares?" He's like, "Who cares? Let's dance."
Yeah.
They just start dancing.
And they
on
start
the
playing
green.
Any
It
Way
makes
You
no
Want It by
sense.
Journey.
What is it?
They start playing Any Way You Want It by Journey.
Yeah,
It's great. Yeah.
I think doesn't it have like a beer tap on it? Like he hits a button and it
yeah,
pops
beer.
up and then he's like
He's, like,
pouring
pouring himself a
beer.
beer.
Like,
Yeah, that's
it's like great.
Yep.
Dude,
I
that
mean, it's
movie.
hard to pinpoint like my favorite part of the movie because there's so many
too.
good parts. I don't know.
I think I don't know, the pool scene maybe.
The
Might be
Baby
my-
Ruth.
Yeah, the Baby
Oh my
Ruth
God,
scene.
that's a great
That was
scene.
funny.
And then like Bill Murray, like he's like, it's all right. It's
okay.
still
He
good.
starts eating it.
It's okay. It's no big deal.
Yeah, the
That's no
Chevy
big
Chase
deal.
Bill Murray scene where he's playing through his house. That's a pretty funny exchange of dialogue.
Oh, with him and Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cannonball coming. Cannonball coming.
That was one of those movies that was like pretty controversial
this-
when you're a kid.
This Rumor Now reminds me of Bill Murray's like little house
Nice.
in that movie.
But it was controversial because it was like one of those movies you had to like, sneak and not watch while your parents are around.
You know what's funny? This was one of the few movies. My mom was pretty strict with me watching like movies that had like
Yeah.
cursing. But
E.T.
for some reason, yeah, right. For some reason, this movie she let me
She's
watch
okay.
it. Like
Wow.
she loved it, so it was okay if I watched
Oh,
it.
wow.
Because
That's
it was a
funny.
lot of comedy in it too.
She-
so
well,
there
she
was a
loved
lot of
SNL.
tongue-in-cheek stuff too. So it wasn't like
Yeah,
You
my
know?
mom loved SNL though, like in the '70s with
Uh-huh.
the original cast. So this was like a bunch of those people.
So,
So
she's
I
like,
think
oh,
that's-
this is cool.
Yeah, I think that she was
That's
like
amazing.
okay with it.
Isn't there nudity in this movie?
Yeah, the pool
Yeah.
scene. There's boobs for sure.
Yeah,
I don't
the
remember.
lead
Not
girl, she was really,
kid-appropriate.
really hot.
She was.
Yeah.
Ah.
the funny
but
scene with
she was
her
the
and
girl from
Chevy
Tron.
Chase at the piano.
Yeah,
What's
that's
that?
a good one too. Yeah.
Wait, which one?
When they're
Scene
on the
with
piano.
that girl and Chevy Chase at the piano.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Where didn't he he snorts the salt and throws the shot? over his
Yeah, he
shoulder?
throws the shot behind his back. He's like,
Tequila.
Yep. All the gopher scenes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
I want
that
that
was
girl.
that was
John
pretty
Dykstra
iconic.
did
I mean,
the-
you could buy
I
those
think did the gopher.
those stuffed animals.
I want that.
still,
I want
probably.
one.
At the airport.
And like the cast, I think pretty much everybody hated Ted Knight. Like they didn't get along. There's
yeah,
a really
that's
funny,
what I heard.
Really?
He was a real,
Stick
he was
in
a
the
real
mud.
shithead. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an awkward interview on YouTube if you want to watch it. Like they did like one thing of press for it, and this
Yeah.
like woman from like a Christian magazine interviews them. They're all just like kind of thrown off. They're like, "Who is this woman?" It's kind of a fun watch.
Yep.
And that was like when the movie actually came out.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah. They didn't do a lot of press because they did. You can obviously tell they were like hung over as shit, but they
I
just
bet.
Ted
Yeah.
Knight just does not fit in that bunch.
No.
I think it's time for me to watch Caddyshack again. It's like it's
When was
been
the
a
last time you
couple
watched
last
years.
night.
Nice.
When was the last time you watched it?
Dude, just put it on. What's
At least a
that,
couple
on
years.
USA or whatever.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
oh.
It's on there.
I watch
all
it
the
at
time.
least. I'd say twice a year at least.
Nice.
Probably. That's a for sure like one of my favorite movies of all time.
All right, Brad. Number one for you.
Number one is 1976 Rocky, starring Sylvester Stallone.
Dun 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 dun. dun.
Da, 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 da. So Stallone wrote this screenplay in 3.5 days. That's pretty amazing.
Dude, he wrote the whole
Nice.
screenplay in 3.5 days.
3.5 days.
That's insane. Like 3
Teddy,
days to
he-
write that.
He wrote it shortly after watching the championship match between Ali and Wepner.
Okay.
I guess United Artists first wanted Robert Redford, Ryan O'Neal, Burt Reynolds, or James Caan, and Stallone said that he would never forgive himself if it became a success.
Dude,
so
like
that's why he held out.
I'm glad.
Good. Yeah.
I'm glad because as good as those actors are, I don't think they could have played that role.
No,
Yeah, true.
no,
Like,
I
there's
agree.
no way it wouldn't have been the same. That's for sure.
Yep. A classic.
Rocky.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would have nailed this role like Stallone did. I just don't see it.
Yeah, it would
Yeah,
have
it was
changed
perfect.
the character. It wouldn't
Yeah.
have been the same character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it helped that he was like relatively unknown too.
Oh, for sure. Because like if it would have been Robert Redford, it would have been a totally different type of. Everyone would have recognized him, like you said. He would have been like a all-American, like good boy, like good American,
Right.
like
Yeah.
all-star in college type. I feel like he wouldn't have played the underdog type role at all. Like not like Sylvester
like-
Stallone could.
Those dudes are just like I would just say they're too good looking to be a boxer. Like Stallone
Right.
kind of had
Yeah.
that look too.
Yeah.
Rough rough around the edges a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's 2 for Rocky. Ted, you gonna make it 3?
No, my number one I think is George's number 3. It's A League of Their Own.
Oh shit!
Oh wow. Okay.
Wow.
Number one. I thought Penny Marshall was going to win Best Director that year. I
Who
think
did?
she was. I can't even remember.
Jonathan Demme won, I think, for Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah.
Or wait, no, wait.
I don't think
It
so.
might have
I
been
think
Clint
it
Eastwood
was-
for
It was
Unforgiven.
92.
It was Clint Eastwood for Unforgiven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Unforgiven.
that was a
Yeah.
tough hurdle.
Yeah.
That'd be a tough
That's a
hurdle.
good year for movies.
It was.
But yeah, great cast and great score. Hans Zimmer did that one.
Mm-hmm.
Screenplay was Lowell Gans and Babalu Mandel. A couple of good, seasoned screenwriters there. They've written a lot of good stuff. So that's my number one pick.
Good cast.
Nice.
That's
Amazing
one of those
cast.
movies that good casting.
Yeah.
I feel.
That's another one I wanted to see it this week, but I didn't get a chance. So
I feel like
Oh,
that
you're
one-
fired.
It
Haven't
used to
seen
be
it.
on TV a lot more than it has been recently. But like 20 years
Oh,
ago,
really?
it was always on TV. I feel like 20 years
Okay.
ago,
yeah,
but not as much. So
to look it up and on Can You Stream It?
Can you?
Can I stream it?
Can you stream it?
might be
I
a
don't
All
have
new
right.
one.
Number 1 for Brett. What you got?
All right, it's already been said actually, and it's the true number one sports movie of all time. It's Caddyshack.
Yeah, I agree.
And real quick, we talked about it a lot already, but to answer the question we asked it when we first started this, can you like a sports movie that you don't like the sport? Caddyshack is my
Absolutely.
favorite
Yeah,
sports movie, and I
boom,
hate
suckers.
golf. I do not like golf. I
Golf
hate it.
is not a
Golf is not-
sport. It's a
golf sucks.
leisure activity.
And I love Caddyshack, so that proves you don't have to like the sport to love the movie it's about.
Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
I think my favorite scene though is the scene where Bill Murray is out on the. He's like, not on the course. He's on the walkway to the country club, and he's hitting the flowers, and he's like, Cinderella story.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's gone. It's out there. And then the Catholic priest comes up, and he's like totally wasted. He's like, let's go. And there's like a thunderstorm coming in. He's like, let's go play around. And they go out and play golf in the thunderstorm. That's my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah,
I think my favorite scene is when Ted Knight and Bill Murray they walk out onto the green and they get in this DeLorean and they fly back to the future.
Oh yeah.
No, that was in the sequel,
Wait.
Brad.
Really?
Brad, that
They
was the
went back
sequel.
they went back to write Caddyshack 2.
No, that
Yeah.
was
I thought that was on A League of Their Own.
No, that was the
Isn't that- no?
sequel. That was Caddyshack 2.
Like, at what point do you think they were like, you know what? Let's just get Dan Aykroyd to do that role. Like, no one will know.
It's so bizarre.
That he played his cousin, right, or nephew, or
Oh, really?
I think it's his cousin. It's like
God,
not.
I need to go back and watch that sequel. It's so bad.
No,
It's so
no.
Wait. They had a sequel?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Caddyshack 2's horrible.
God, I didn't know that.
Chevy Chase is in
bad.
it.
No, it's that. Oh,
Oh.
my God.
Yeah, it's bad.
Starring everyone's favorite actor, Jackie Mason.
Yeah, Jackie Mason is in it.
Oh, he's
Jackie Mason.
great.
And Robert Stack is in it. It's horrible.
I love Robert
shitty.
Stack.
Jonathan Silverman's in it. Like, it's a
Oh.
shit. Kenny Loggins
hold
did the
on.
song for it
So
too.
hold on, could they not get Dangerfield so they got Gleason?
I think I want to say Dangerfield turned it down. He probably was like, "Fuck no."
He's like, I'm out.
And I think Chevy Chase had just gotten out of rehab, or he was going into rehab when he did this movie.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And he's only in like a couple scenes, right? Like, it's not
Yeah.
like the whole movie. It's just like
He's in like a golf cart ride, and that's it.
I forgot he was in it.
Yeah. It's only like towards the end. Dan Aykroyd, I love Dan Aykroyd, but that's probably that might be his worst movie. Like,
I agree.
he shouldn't have done
bad.
that movie.
I love Dr. Detroit better than this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
my
yeah.
God, I love Dr. Detroit. His
I
little
do too,
claw.
actually.
That
Yeah.
movie was
The
awesome,
doctor
dude.
is
Yeah.
in.
I'd watch Dr. Detroit a million times before I'd
Holy
watch
crap, dude, I
Caddyshack
had
2.
forgotten
It's got
about that
James
movie.
Brown.
Damn.
Yep.
Telling you, we need to do a movies that need to be remade podcast.
I agree.
I'm down for that one.
All right, George. Let's see what your number one is. What you got?
Dude, my number one was already mentioned by you, and it's Raging Bull.
Nice.
Ultimate
Nice.
of
Very
boxing.
nice.
Next
Yeah.
to Rocky. No disrespect, Brett, but
No.
to me, this is like the epitome. Like, it's the true
It's
life
like a
story of
real
Jake
movie.
LaMotta.
Yeah.
Like, this is, and it's got Robert De Niro, directed by Martin Scorsese.
Bobby D.
It's
It's definitely
Wow.
a
It's got
good
Kathy
movie.
Moriarty
yeah,
in
Raging
it.
Bull.
great movie, dude. Like one of the, like I said earlier in the podcast, this criteria for my top 5 were that I was able to watch them whenever they were on TV, and that's one I can watch every time.
Yep.
Great movie, dude.
It is.
I mean, it's in black and white.
Yep.
I mean, I don't mind.
Beautiful
Sometimes
black and white.
movies are kind of
Could
a
be.
little painful, but this one,
They don't need to colorize this one.
no, definitely not. And please don't
Fuck
remake
no,
it.
they
or
better not
reboot
colorize
or
it.
Anything.
Beautifully shot. Great
If they
movie.
colorize it, it's going to be called Raging Bullshit.
Yeah.
And you can't
Story.
You can't colorize
Toy.
a black and white movie because the way it's shot is different.
It's so
Like,
nostalgic.
the
and
camera
it
is
just-
shot for black and white.
Yeah, it's
Like,
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. But yeah, that's my number one. Again, no disrespect to
Good
Brett
one,
and
good
Rocky.
one.
No,
but
none take
this
it.
is-
Raging Bull's a great movie.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. Well, let's go to honorables. Ones that have already been mentioned: Rocky, Sandlot, $1 Million Baby, League of Their Own, Major League. Movies that weren't mentioned: The Waterboy. That's a fun one.
Oh shit, I forgot about that one.
No, you're wrong, Colonel Sanders.
It's in
Talladega
H2O.
Nights. That was fun. The Color of Money. Also,
Oh
The
yeah, that was a
Hustler.
good one.
Wrestler, the Mickey Rourke movie.
Yep.
And the one movie,
Yes.
man, that I really enjoyed, I just don't consider it a sports movie. Jerry Maguire.
Oh yeah.
I'd say
I agree.
that's
I
kind
agree.
of a sports
sports
movie, I think it is.
content, but
Yeah. it's not a sports movie. It's like a love movie. It's it's a drama. You know,
You know what?
Yeah.
If you would have put it on your list, I wouldn't have held it against you. I think I would have agreed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike King of Kong.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
Son of
that.
a bitch.
Brad, what about you?
my honorables are The Wrestler, Creed 1 and 2, Rocky Balboa, Caddyshack, Space Jam, and Kindergarten Cop.
Kindergarten
Cop. What?
Wait a minute. Did they get the DeLorean in that one too?
That's not a
Yep, they
butt
made it into
movie.
a sports movie.
There you go.
Nice. All right, Mr. Ted.
You guys mentioned most of them. Let's see if I have any others. Bad News Bears.
Mhm.
Karate Kid.
I'm shocked that wasn't in your top 5, Ted. I thought you were.
True.
I
got
thought that was a good.
Cutting Edge with the
Oh yeah, the ice
Shit, that was a
skating.
good
the
one.
Papchenko.
Yeah.
That's what I
and
hate.
Karate Kid. Yeah.
It's karate, dude.
Yeah.
Karate's a sport.
You mean, you mean the remake?
Before we started this,
To be honest with you, I think karate is more of a sport than golf.
it's
Oh!
it's definitely more of a sport than King or Donkey Kong is. That's for sure.
Snap. Sorry.
King Kong.
Damn, we got some controversy on this
We
one.
do. This is getting heated.
I would have put
Brett,
money that
Brett,
Ted
what
was
you
going to have
got?
Karate Kid on your top
Totally.
5. I'm shocked that
Yep.
you didn't.
It really is, but I've talked about Karate Kid a lot, so
Okay.
give
All
it
right.
a day
Giving it
off.
a rest.
Give it a rest.
You giving it a rest?
Give it a little rest.
All right, Brett, what you got?
All right. Other than the one you guys named a bunch already, but the ones you haven't named yet: Field of Dreams, Moneyball, Brian's Song, Rad, 8 Men Out, Bull Durham, North Dallas 40, Warrior, Cinderella Man,
6.
Rush, Bang the Drum Slowly, Rookie of the Year, Goon, Cobb, and The Hustler.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
It's a good one.
Did anybody mention Ladybugs, that Rodney Dangerfield movie?
Oh, I remember that
No,
with Jonathan
you know, that is
Brandis.
a sports
oh my
movie.
God, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's a sports movie.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Like I said,
soccer.
It's a sports movie.
It's soccer.
It's soccer.
Yeah.
Unlike Donkey Kong.
Ah,
Oh,
shut
here
up.
we go.
King of Kong.
He's not going to let it go tonight.
Nope.
I'm not letting
Ted.
it go.
Nope.
Audience, what do you think?
I love video games, but they're not sports.
All right, George, what you got?
All right. Honorable mentions. Remember the Titans, Bull Durham, Hoosiers, Slapshot, The Longest Yard, the OG, and then the Longest Yard remake, The Way Back, The Fighter, and 42.
Nice.
You know, it's also good as Friday Night Lights, the movie, the Billy Bob Thornton movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's a good movie.
I remember seeing that movie. It's
Way
good.
Back?
It's good.
Which one was the
Like
way
no
back?
one
I
said
forget.
Varsity Blues or
Nope.
what's the Oliver Stone?
The Al Pacino movie?
Any given
Yeah.
Sunday.
That
Any
almost
given
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
almost cracked my list, but
You know, I've never seen that movie.
I'm
You
just
know
tired
what
of
didn't
football.
crack
Oh,
anybody's
really?
list was
I've never seen it.
Dodgeball. No one mentioned Dodgeball.
Oh yeah, a true underdog story.
True
No,
underdog.
Billy did.
Oh, never
No,
mind.
no one said Cool Runnings. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah,
Yep.
we did.
The
Not
only
a sports
bobsled
movie.
movie.
You know what? No one mentioned White Men Can't Jump. That's a good sports movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good
Honorables.
one, dude.
Honorables.
But see,
Longest Yard?
that one
Somebody
doesn't. Would you consider that a sports
I mean, it's
movie?
about basketball.
But it's like
yeah.
hustling
Yeah.
basketball. It's like street ball almost. But
Yeah,
North Dallas 40?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's basketball.
it's a throw up.
I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, it's on the
Blue
verge.
Chips, Shaquille O'Neal.
That's right.
Oh, Blue Chips. No, I'm
Fuck.
just
No
joking.
one
Do you remember
said
that movie?
Gleaming the Cube.
Oh
Gleaming
yeah.
the Cube, yeah.
Christian, what is it? Christian.
No one said Annie.
Which is more.
Slater.
Insert cricket.
What was the
sounds
ripoff
now.
of Rad with Josh Brolin? Do you
The
remember
Dirt
that?
Bike Kid.
No. That was the
remember
kid
that.
from Christmas Story.
Excite Bike?
No, what was it called? There's a movie with Josh Brolin. It was kind of like a ripoff of Rad. I can't remember the name of it now.
Drag?
Little
No.
Marines.
I remember
No,
that.
I don't remember.
We can keep going.
Yeah.
Well, let's not keep going. Let's go to the gym and work out because we love sports, guys. Come on. We're gonna get bucked. Sports. See you later, guys. Sports. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to the 5 Dudes of Views podcast. Be sure to check us out on Apple Podcasts, Libsyn, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, and now YouTube. And while you're on there, be sure to download, rate, and subscribe. You can also check us out on Instagram and Twitter at 5 Dudes Views. And we also are on Facebook. Everybody out there, stay safe. Until next time.